Hello, my friends. So just a bit about Mercury retrograde, guys. I am currently on both sides of the market. Looks like um, my first green ellipse might have been just a little bit off about, let's say, about a half hour, 40 minutes off. And then we have this red ellipse, which it's a little early to determine. I think we probably have lower to go. We shall see. That could have very well been the part of the spike that I saw as well. But in any case, I'm on both sides of the market. I'm looking to get out of my my long positions. If you're following along with the actual reading on the website tarotfortraders.com, you can see the actual spread that I'm talking about. I'm looking to get out of my long positions around 2 o'clock. I'm basically equal long positions calls and short positions puts. So, well, I should say long calls and puts. So I'm on both sides of the market about equal amounts of risk, and I'm looking to get out of the the long positions. That remains to be seen. I think I will, but depending on where we close the day, I may buy back more calls. However, part of last week, I think, was we were fighting the trend. I usually don't fight the trend. And by the trend, I mean which way the moon is going. So the moon waxing means, for the most part, the overall trend is going to be downward. The moon waning or getting smaller, seeing less of it. Generally speaking, the overall trend for the market is going to be going up. And the full moon coincides within close proximity to local lows, where the new moon it coincides within close proximity to local highs. Hey, buddy. Here's my little puppy. I just got this guy. He's like 4 months old. His name is Hermes because I got him right on the edge of Mercury. Right, buddy? Go run. So with that said, we are now waxing. We're going towards the new moon. We also just entered the influence of Mercury retrograde, what they call the storm or the shadow. It's not actually Mercury retrograde yet. However, we are now experiencing it. You almost certainly have experienced car trouble, electronic trouble, something just going out, stopped working out of nowhere, communication issues. That's with all sorts of things like people, technology, internally. So it's travel, electronics, communication that it disrupts. And generally speaking, when you enter the shadow, when you first go into it, which was the 29th, that's when you first start to experience the volatility, and it picks up as you move towards, they call it Mercury retrograde station, which is when the planet Mercury actually enters Mercury retrograde. And what is Mercury retrograde, guys? If you're not aware what Mercury retrograde is, there's a good article on cafeastrology.com that explains it really well. But what it is in the sky, it's an optical illusion, and it looks like the planet has stopped when it hits the station in the sky and then started going backwards. Really, it hasn't changed its course in heavens at all. It's just that because of the spin and the orbits, it looks like it's going backwards. However, that still has a profound impact on human behavior and energies of reality. So what we expect is that there's a reversal when we enter the shadow, another reversal, and that was the 29th, another reversal when we enter storm, which I believe we might be today. The 14th. Oh, yeah, the 14th. So we're going to be increasing in volatility as we go. But however, my point is that we just entered the waxing phase of the moon as of yesterday, and we also just entered the Mercury retrograde storm period. So we should be seeing some volatility picking up as we move downward because of the waxing. And with that said, I'm going to be playing volatility. I'm not going to take all of my long positions off the table, but most likely around 2 o'clock or just before 2 o'clock, I'm going to lighten up on those. And possibly, depending on how far we drop right at the end of the day, I may buy back some calls to sell tomorrow. But the big trade that I'm seeing, the real clear trade that I'm seeing tomorrow at around 140, 130, 140, in the midst of a push higher, I'm going to buy a bunch of puts. I should say I'm going to open some long puts, and I'm going to ride that decline into Wednesday morning around 10 o'clock. That's the big trade that I see. I also see a opportunity before a sharp drop or a market correction even on the 6th. But we'll get there. And if you want to see more elaboration on that, guys, all you got to do is check out the blog post for the 6th, which is actually going up today, or you can check out the actual video on YouTube where we record this stuff and we post it live ahead of time for people to see as soon as possible.